This is KUGAN CASSIUS for Eiffel TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. Bit tired.
You are?
A little bit.
You slept the whole way?
I know, but...
How can you be tired? What time did you go to bed last night?
1. Met you at
6 or something like that?
Yeah, 4:45. Met you at 7. Liverpool. Start fight week.
Come on, son. You got to pick that mojo up.
Oh.
Don't let me down on this double header. We don't want soldiers who're just going to fall by the wayside, complain about being tired. We want hardcore soldiers. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Good.
I'm with you. Right.
Okay. Here we go.
Right, listen.
Double header. Saturday and Sunday. Hang on. 24 hours. Never been done before.
Never.
Not by me.
Two shows in 2 days. Of this magnitude.
No, well, of course.
You've probably done like a fight pass show and then another one.
No.
Are you even done that yet?
No. But this is 2 world title fights, 2 nights, 2 cities. No, I don't know if it's been done before. If it has, I'm completely ignoring that fact. As far as I'm concerned, this is the first time in history it's ever been done. Which
one means more to you, Eddie? If you're being honest.
Ooh. It's, sorry to answer you with, it's really tough to give you an answer to that, because what it would mean to Burns to become a freeweight world champion back in Glasgow, and what it would do for Scottish boxing, what it would do for Tony Bellew, probably more on a personal note. Ricky did a conference call, and he was talking about the pressure that he's under for Scottish boxing, whereas Tony's not really under that pressure for Liverpool. It's more just purely for himself. Of course, Ricky wants to win for himself as well, but so many different reasons. But you know, for Britain to get 2 more world champions at the weekend, someone tweeted me, and I don't know if anyone can help with this, but they said 13 is the highest number that a country has had of world champions at any time in history. Can you hurry up and let me know if that's true? Because I'd like to use it. If it's not, I'll use it anyway.
One of your press conferences.
Because we could have, I believe 14 at the end of Sunday.
Quite incredible, really.
Not just quite incredible, phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Right, before we touch on the 2 fights this weekend, I want to go back a little bit in time to last week. We kind of done our Q&A at the wrong point, I felt, last week, because
there's so much going on.
We've done it, and then there was so much stuff that happened afterwards. First of all, you've re-signed Eubank.
Yeah, is that all right with you?
No, it's not.
Because you don't get access.
It's not access. It's just him and his dad. They don't want to.
You don't get access. I know it hurts, but you don't get access. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. But yeah, two fight deal initially, with options on the 3rd and onwards, and I'm excited. I mean, I think that Eubank is one of the biggest draws in British boxing at the moment. It's high maintenance, working with senior, but I'm in it because I think they're worth it. And I don't know where it will go. You know, initially I'm very pleased to have him on June 25th. Great fight against Tom Doran. Now I watched some of your interview with Billy Joe, and I think, I'm not sure, like, when you're defending your British title, Tom Doran is certainly top 3 in terms of those available who would make for a great fight, 17-0. Yeah, he hasn't boxed anyone of Chris Eubank's ability yet, but when you get to 17-0 and you've had the wins, time to challenge yourself. And I think it's a good, explosive, exciting fight. And then he'll box on the Kell Brook card as well, defend his British title. And then they want Golovkin. I mean, you know, whether I think that's right or wrong, they want it. And that's my instructions. Chris Senior tries to dangle that carrot in front of me, saying, if you can deliver this, you've got my son for the career. But I'll do all I can. And if that fight can be made in September, October, they're ready to sign.
You did say originally, obviously, after some problems that you put out there, really, after the last time that you were sort of had the Eubanks under your kind of control at Matchroom, but you said that they'd have to commit if they were to come. It's only 2 fights.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's they want to be with us, but they don't want to commit to long term. I sort of had a hat on whereby I want to. It helps me with certain shows that they're on. So for me, it wasn't a no-brainer, but it was like I want him on June 25th. I think it'll add huge amounts to the show, and I want him on the Kell Brook show because again, he's one of the top names and stars and attractions in British boxing at the moment. So if he decides that after that they don't want to stay on Sky and they don't want to be with me, that's okay. Of course, I want him to, but I think I said in an interview recently that although I'm a promoter, I'm not a control freak like other promoters where you have to sign a 20-page agreement that ties you for virtually your whole career. If you don't want to be with me, you don't want to be with me. But I also have an obligation to put on the best fighters on Sky. So I don't mind if you're even not with me. If you're a top fighter and a manager or a promoter comes to me and says, would you like to work with us or we'd like to box on one of your shows, I'm not obstructive or, you know, to a point where the answer is, oh, I will do, but you have to sign this 5-year deal with me. Because I have an obligation to Sky and the fans to put on good shows with big fighters on. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not just they have to be mine. So.
But do you give your all to?
No. I still stand by that comment. If you, again, we're going over old ground. But if you say to me, Eddie, listen, you're the man I want to guide my career. I trust. I think you're the best promoter in the world. You know, I'm with you. That motivates you. And different people are motivated and turned on, not in that respect, by different things. Some are turned on by money. Some are turned on by goals. Some are turned on by making history. Some are turned on by changing the industry. Everyone's different. For me, I'm turned on by people showing me loyalty. Tony Bellew, great example. That's why we're here at Goodison Park on Sunday. That's why I managed to pull this world title fight out of the bag, because it meant a lot to me to deliver that for Tony. So whether that comes in the future with the Eubanks, I'm going to work extremely hard. I'm going to try and deliver the Golovkin fight. They've got 2 fights with me now. Like I said, to take a piece of my heart and soul, we have to have that relationship, and you have to show me that two-way loyalty. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. Would you say that your relationship with the Eubanks moving forward is somewhat unpredictable, though?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
In that you don't know whether they'll be with you after 2 fights.
I believe they want to be with me. That's why they're back with me. They want to be with Sky. They want to be a pay-per-view fighter. Every fight. How many times have I said this? Every fighter in boxing, British boxing, wants to be a Sky pay-per-view fighter. It's not rocket science. And that's what the Eubanks want to be. Can they be one? Yes, I believe they can. We have to get the right fights, but they have the ability, the style, the presence, the package to be a pay-per-view fighter. So that's what they want to be. If that can be delivered, they'll never leave. Because once you get in that model, you'll never ever want to leave. But it's, can we deliver the fight to make that switch? Of course, Eubank Golovkin, of course that's a pay-per-view fight. But if that doesn't get made, is there another one? Is it Billy Joe Saunders? Is it James DeGale? I don't know. So I'm quite relaxed, to be honest with you. I'm feeling like more and more relaxed all the time, because I think I've got a nice model, a great business, and if you want to be with me, let's do it. And if you don't, it's okay. We'll shake hands and maybe we'll do business in the future. You know, like I said, I haven't flicked that bit switch yet, so I'm okay.
Anything in the deal that says that if you don't deliver them Golovkin, that they all can leave?
Well, after the 2 fights, it's up to them. If I get the Golovkin fight or a pay-per-view fight, of course, the deal's going to go on and on and on. But if I can't, they can go, yeah, after the 2 fights.
Okay. Many people tweet and go, "Oh, you must hate the Eubanks," and I think.
Me or you?
No, me. I think I don't know the Eubanks to hate them. Do you understand what I mean?
Junior is very, very nice man. Seems like a nice bloke, you know. I mean, I won't say that we've been out for dinner and spent hours on the phone, but I like him, and I think he likes being with us and he likes being on Sky. Senior is he's so difficult, but it's difficult to question him when he knows so much about sport and he's achieved so much, and he's been through everything, you know. From a business sense, from a promotional sense, I believe that I'm better placed to make those decisions. But he's of course got his opinions, and they're all valid. So, you know, we have our good calls and bad calls. But I think maybe we've had that little break now. It's a little bit like, you know, when you're very intense in a relationship, and then you have that little bit of breathing space, and you come back and everything's fresh again. Who knows whether you're going to go back over old ground, you're going to feel the same. But right now, I feel like I had the summer off. We went to Marbella, we went to Ibiza, we had a great time with the boys, and now I've come back, we've had a few dinner dates, and it feels nice.
It's a great way of summing it up.
Thanks, mate. There's Elenga Makubu. How you doing? Not very big, is he?
No, can punch though.
I can certainly punch.
Okay, also, you signed Dillian Whyte on a
Yeah,
five.
you like that move,
five
didn't you?
fight
You were
deal.
big in that move up in the car.
That's a good move for both parties. Definitely for yourself and Dillian. So, yeah, 5 fights. So you've got a plan for him, obviously.
Yeah, we've got a good plan. I mean, the plan short term is June the 25th, back in action. Good news is that Dillian doesn't want to fight any bums, so to speak. Not in a disrespectful way, because we found that before. I mean, when he boxed Brian Minto, he was really disappointed with Brian Minto. We looked around for opponents. So he doesn't want to be going in with some of the guys that we've seen recently at those kind of levels. And then he wants to box for the British title. So we've got a bit of a situation. Could be Dave Allen. Dave Allen was due to fight Sam Sexton in a final eliminator, and they made Dillian Whyte against Hughie Fury. Hughie Fury pulled out, so it'll be one of the others. I think the Dave Allen fight would make sense for the Kell Brook show. So yeah, that's short term, and then move forward and obviously defend the British title. Chisora's a fight that I think would make sense.
Good afternoon, fellas. Welcome to the Hilton in Liverpool for the media workout, public workout of the real life Rocky story, which gets underway obviously on Sunday.
Can we keep talking?
We've got quite a few fighters going to be in the ring, starting right now. Put your hands together for Tom Farrell. He's going to be in the ring right now. Undefeated fighter, 8-0, going on his journey, hopefully, to become British champion. Eliminator of the weekend. If you've just joined us, I'll give you a quick running order. Masher will be in the ring in about 20 minutes. Pricey up at about 12:40. Callum Smith will be with us at 1 o'clock. Swifty in at 1:20. Macabre in at 1:40, and then following that we will have Tony Moyu in the ring.
Just in case you didn't know yourself what the order was.
So Dillian, and then we like the Chisora fight, and then move forward, possibly an AJ rematch. I mean, people say to me, "Oh, that's the AJ rematch out the window." Then it's like,
that's probably brought it close together.
It's a lot easier to make now, that's for sure. So I like Dillian. You know, Dillian was interesting to deal with around a Joshua fight. It was a little bit personal, between the two. But Dillian gets it. He really understands the business, and he's smart, and that's why he wants to be with us.
But obviously, when you spoke to Dillian about joining, you must have sort of had that sort of end goal at the end of the 5 fights.
To go and challenge for the world title. And if that's AJ, that's great. He's got the profile now to be able to go and have those big fights, whether that's Chisora, whether that's Wilder, whether that's Fury, whether that's Haye. I mean, I love Dillian Whyte against David Haye. It's a great fight. And, Dillian's in a great spot in the division. I know he's coming off a loss, but a couple of wins, he's going to be right back in the mix.
Talking to David Haye, what did you make of, his performance and the whole night? Which I'm sure you watched.
I did. I watched some of it, yeah. I mean, I think it was the first time I've been popular on Twitter for a couple of years. My old man's sort of, a bit more blunt and to the point, and he phoned me up and he said it was just the worst production. The sync was out on you probably didn't see that.
No, I was
there. It was like 2 or 3 seconds out, the card, I mean, I don't know, I don't really feel like it's my place to start slating. It's not really my style. But what do you want to know? What about the performance? Haye looked like Haye. He's a quality fighter. He was massively overmatched, and he needs to fight someone significant. And I'm not sure Briggs is that guy yet, because he fought someone even worse who actually went 8 rounds with Greg Orge or whatever his name was, and it didn't really tell us anything. But you know, it was boxing to the masses. It was free to air, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's free. If it's no good, you don't want it. It's like me coming up to you and saying, "Do you want this?" Like this. Imagine finding like a complete rascal jacket, right? Coming up to you and say, "Do you want this jacket?" And you go, "Mate, I wouldn't wear that jacket in a million years." I go, "Yeah, but it's free." I don't care if it's free. I don't want it. I'll never wear it. So, you know, people are always quick to jump on the back of hashtag free to air. Hashtag free to air generally means poor content. So,
ITV was free to air.
What fight are you talking
Channel
about?
5 is free to air.
Yeah, generally the Channel 5, in my opinion, isn't great content or great production. Or
What is in comparison to Sky's? Or
I
just
think
in general?
the production on Channel 5 is a mile away from the production from Sky, yeah. And the quality of the team, everything from top to bottom. And it was the same with Dave. But I go back to these broadcasters, and Sky included to a certain extent, don't have the rights fees for boxing to create the mega fights. That is why we put on pay-per-view shows and events. Okay, so you've got a situation, and that's where David Haye's really going to struggle, because there's no money for opponents, and I don't know how the Shannon Briggs fight's going to work, especially if it's with a free-to-air broadcaster, because who's going to pay for Shannon Briggs, and who's going to pay David Haye's purse? Where does that purse come from? The gate don't cover it. So, I don't know. I don't know if the deal's been done, what Shannon Briggs is supposed to be getting, any of that. I just don't know how the model works.
But in David Haye, you've got someone sitting there who's obviously, of his own admission, probably won't fight for a world title this year, but for next year, there's surely something that you could do with regards to your fighters, especially Anthony Joshua, in regards to David Haye. So that must be in...
Yeah, no, Haye's definitely in the mind. He's not a target. He's not of the immediate focus. I mean, look, Josh wants to unify the division, so we want to fight Tyson Fury. That's the main focus for us, providing he beats Klitschko. So we'll box on June the 25th. We may box again October, November. That could be against Fury. If not, we wait till the spring to fight Fury. Got Joseph Parker now, which is a really good opponent for Josh. Good win for him on Saturday.
Yeah, just to clarify that, because a lot of people...
That's a final eliminator, and he is the mandatory. It will be called on about November the 20th, so Josh can have as many voluntaries as he wants up till then, and then Parker becomes a mandatory.
So we're assuming he'll have 2 more voluntaries, including Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did this situation with Pulev come in then? Because this was
the Pulev fight was an eliminator for the number 2 spot.
Right.
With the IBF, you've got number 1 and number 2. You can't get there unless you have an eliminator. Okay, so you see in many divisions, they're blank, number 1 and number 2. To become the number 1, you have to win a final eliminator. Okay? To become a number 2, you can win an eliminator for the number 2 spot, which what Pulev was. So Pulev's next fight could be a final eliminator, but that can only take place once Parker has fought. Is that too loud? We can talk, can't we?
Nah.